Hey, what's up, guys? I'm pretty much going to reiterate what I said in the last video because I'm still kind of wrapping my mind around it. And I'm going to talk about the life-solving equation that I have. Again, this is life right here. This is me. Let me use a different brush. There. This is me. And then these are green energy waves. I'm just going to make one energy wave. That's energy input. This is energy output. And this can lead to anything. Now this green energy input is guaranteed because I mean the sun is always shooting waves at us, at life in general, and then we as human beings, all animals really, all plants, anything that's alive has DNA, and we use that DNA to make more life. So what's morally good, not morally good, but not just morally good, but pretty much optimal is to create more life, and that's sort of the function of DNA to begin with, is to propagate more of itself. Um, and if you have enough energy output, you can really benefit a lot of people. Now, this is still a question mark because this output is really dependent on what your goals are. Um, so I'm gonna, because of course you can like really create destruction and draw a flame here. If you wanted to, you could destroy the whole world, and one person does have power to do that if you really so wish to. But of course, I don't want to do that. I want to create more life. Okay, so I've been really just trying to absorb this idea. Um, of course, this comes into us in the form of food, and like basically, these two, the input and output can be really optimized. And I think it's important to focus on both. So if I were to separate this into two columns of action plans. Like energy input could be in the form of we'll talk about the most obvious first, which is like actual energy going into your body. So this is like nutrition, sunlight, and of course you can optimize the energy transfer through like rest. So these are like really simple, basic life health things that you can do. Of course, exercise. And what's interesting is that exercise is the output. So I guess this would be output. So exercise would be output. So it's interesting that it's health related, but it's output. And the thing about exercise, what's interesting is that a lot of exercise that most people do is self-indulgent. In the old days, you know, when we had to hunt for our food, we got exercise out of necessity. But now people just go to the gym so they can work on their aesthetics or whatever. I find that to be kind of indulgent. Of course, there's nothing wrong with it. It's probably good for you, and I probably don't do enough of that. But there's probably a way to consolidate a more productive output into exercise. Because whatever it is, even if you work a desk job, even me, I work at I'm in work from home artist. I can. There's probably some way to consolidate this into my work. So this could also mean work. Um, Now, this can also, so the non-obvious energy input can come in the form of like income. So we trade our labor and time and energy for income. So this can be cyclical because you know as long as you're living, you can increase this, and so the body has a limit. Uh, the human body has a limit on how much energy can actually go through it. But you can so this is like possessions. It could be things like assets that you own. Yeah, in the last previous video, I talked about a stick. You know, you pick up a stick, it's yours. So I do believe possession is a real thing. Ownership is a real thing. Um, so this could be buying things, uh, but also it can come in the form of money. You possess money, and money, all it is, it's kind of imaginary. Fiat currency is kind of imaginary, but it's a good in the sense that it has exchange value, it has use value, and it's also a measure of value. So that's pretty nice. And by owning money, you can basically store in a way. In a way, this kind of works as potential energy. So there's a lot of potential energy in your body in the form of like actual energy that you get from nutrition, but you can also own potential energy in the form of money. Um, and I like seeing it that way because what are you going to do with money? If it's just sitting there, it's useless. You need to put it to work somehow by either buying things or, yeah, basically just trading it for something. Um, so for me personally, like this can really be optimized because I'm low income, and basically one of the reasons I'm really concerned about thinking about this is because there's a possibly an economic downturn happening really soon in the U.S. and around the world. Because of the United States debt ceiling crisis. Some people are speculating that can happen within this year or maybe sooner or later. Who knows? But at some point, what goes up must come down, and the economy has to crash. So to hedge against that, I am trying to figure out a lot of different ways that I can earn some income. Um, and I'm really trying to break down life in general into constituent parts, which is why I'm making this video series. So there's lot of opportunities here, and I'm probably going to talk about them in the next video. Uh, and I've already talked about the work aspect because this could really mean a lot of things. This is where the question mark really comes in because all this other stuff is like really basic, but this is really open ended. Um, and just increasing the efficiency of this, like on a large scale, is very complicated because then you have to deal with things like taxes and stuff like that. And then taxes, there's another visual I want to make. There's like a personal finance visual I want to make, but I'll also do that in another video where everybody wants to have this trajectory with their finances, but there's sort of life pressure, and this life pressure is just like the cost of living, which is just like eating food, having shelter, basic needs, and then there's also like the systemic like stuff that the society that you're born into. So we have stuff like taxes, and that's just guaranteed. Um, and this is all driven by the desire to not die. But then after you can survive, then you're driven by the desire to thrive. So this is kind of what everybody wants. And what's interesting is that everybody is pursuing this, and so what happens is that you have like a relative trajectory compared to everyone else. Um, and that's just competition. So we all want this, but in reality, if everyone is going like that, then it kind of flattens out. So relative to other people, are you like better or worse than them? And the only way for me to really figure this out, this is how I like thinking, is to break it down into math. And so I'm going to really try to figure out what can I do with my time to increase my income. I know this is all really like simple, basic life stuff, but I personally enjoy the breakdown. And if this helps any of you, then I'm glad. So I'll talk to you guys later. I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye bye.